What you see is, of course, a map of Europe. If we superimpose on it a map of wealth per capita, it will turn out that almost all the richest regions of this continent are located in the so-called blue banana of abundance. The question is, why exactly here in the middle of Europe? Why not by the sea or on better flat terrain? Looking at China, the richest regions are right along the coastline, while in the States this division also tends to be concentrated on the coasts. Nevertheless, there it is a bit more complex, in the context of North and South, but not about that today. The entire blue banana of abundance is also one of the most densely populated places on the old continent. Only in this area are some of the globally largest cities and metropolises, that is London, Paris next door, Germany's Ruhr region with more than 5 million inhabitants, or other major cities such as Amsterdam, Brussels, Vienna, Munich, or Milan. The area is home to some 111 million people, about 1/5 of Europe's population. It was in this area that the first universities were founded, the agricultural and industrial revolutions began, and the institutions that made possible the development of today's capitalist system, which had its beginnings right along this 500-kilometer curve. By its sheer size, the European banana even surpasses Japan's Taiheiyo belt, stretching from Tokyo to Fukuyama, which is home to just 85 million inhabitants. Only the Ganges River agglomeration in India has a larger population, but the economic strength of the area cannot compare with Europe. If we hypothetically created a new country out of the blue banana territory, it would automatically become the third largest global economy with a GDP of $10 billion, which is actually not much smaller than what the entire European Union can count on, while in terms of territory, it would be almost 10 times smaller. Interestingly, the blue banana is a phenomenon that is evolving under the influence of changes on the continent. It is currently moving north toward Germany and the Scandinavian countries. There is also a real chance that this one will gain its second branch towards the Czech Republic and Poland. But about the future of the blue banana in a moment. We decided for you in today's material to take a look at what makes it currently the richest such large area on Earth. What is its past and future? What role it plays today? And can it be the one to save the Union in the race between the US and China? All this in today's material. I invite you to watch. The concept of an area as a blue banana was developed in 1989 by Reclus, a group of French geographers led by Roger Brunet. During the Renaissance, which took place in the 15th and 16th centuries, Europe experienced a rapid development of science, art, and culture. During this time, cities such as Florence, Paris, Vienna, and London became centers of new ideas and creativity, and places where the most important universities were founded. At the same time, Europe was beginning to expand into trade and industry, and new discoveries and inventions such as printing, precious metals, and the compass enabled faster growth in trade and the development of new industries. Even then, the blue banana area was far from any expansion of empires such as that of the Mongolian, Arab, or Ottoman. The relative safety already made it one of the best and wealthiest areas of the old continent. If you look at the map of exchanges around 1300, you will find that the blue banana area was in an ideal position in terms of trade between Africa and the Far East, and Northern and Eastern Europe. This gave rise to two major trading centers with the Netherlands at the head in the context of the Hanseatic League, and to the south Venice and Florence. These two places were major destinations in the context of exchange, and it was even then that these areas became richer than the rest of the continent. In the 19th century, Europe experienced another rapid development, especially in the industrial sector. During this time, especially in Germany and Great Britain, many new technologies were developed that enabled the rapid development of manufacturing and industry. One of the most important inventions of the time was the steam engine, which enabled the development of the textile and metal industries. However, at that time, the idea of the blue banana was temporarily lost in favor of the Netherlands, northern France, Great Britain, and Germany, but the route became important again after the end of World War II, because through the Iron Curtain, something natural within the European Union became exchanges just along this area. This is a unique situation in that the wealth is uniquely not interrupted by a mountain range, i.e. the Alps, which are one of the continent's highest and longest strongest mountain ranges. The Italian mountains, Switzerland and Austria are a worldwide rarity. Almost everywhere there are mountains, they are underdeveloped areas in this case. On the other hand, it is quite different. Centrally located on the mountains, Switzerland is nevertheless renowned for its economic prosperity, and for good reason. According to the United Nations Index, the country currently ranks third in terms of GDP per capita among all countries in the world, and has the third highest level of human development. The Swiss, despite a lack of natural resources and a harsh mountain environment, built their strength on banks, which were characterized by secret trading and the stability of democracy and low taxes. This made the country also part of the Blue Banana, being a business link for North and South and East and West. What is noteworthy is that in the Middle Ages itself, as well as around the 18th and 19th centuries, Switzerland was not a wealthy country at all. Its fastest development began around the 20th and 21st centuries. If you look at the map of road density, you can clearly see that the one in the Blue Banana area is much higher than anywhere else in Europe today. It is also where there is the highest density of high-speed rail. The Blue Banana includes major seaports such as Rotterdam and Antwerp, that is number 1 and number 2 in Europe, both in the top 20 in the world, plus airport hubs such as Heathrow, Frankfurt, and Schiphol, sequentially number 3, 11, and 14 in the world. As if that weren't enough, it's also home to the headquarters of some of the most important international organizations, namely the European Commission, the European Parliament, the International Court of Justice, NATO, and the European Central Bank. The average GDP per capita in the area is as high as $83,000, comparable to Qatar, but there are only 2,600,000 people, while in the Blue Banana there are just over 100 million. So it can be said that this is the world's largest area of wealth, which didn't come from nothing. It's a matter of still high industrial density, very good soil aside from Switzerland, and a location that conditions the place as a trade route not only on the two crossing European lines, but also in the context of China's Silk Road exchange with the US and potential future trade development with Africa. Given its technological, cultural, and infrastructural achievements, such as the longest rail tunnel under the Gotard Massif in Switzerland, it's hard to imagine that this region could ever be poor. Switzerland, by the way, along with Italy, has one of the world's longest networks of rail and road tunnels, so initiatives like the one under the Gotard Massif, stretching for 54 kilometers, have forever created a trail here that will amplify exchange in the region. Nonetheless, there was an opinion in the Italian media that, according to 2013 EU data, the shape of the Blue Banana should be changed because the Italian territory has lost its connection due to increasing deindustrialization. Only Lombardy could keep pace. On the other hand, the new lines of economic development in Venice and Slovenia run through points connecting the maritime Silk Road, so the banana seems to be moving slightly eastward. In the next few years, the area of East Germany, Poland, and the Czech Republic, which will become another intersection and potential reinforcement of the Blue Banana's capabilities, will play a huge role. Only in this way will the Union be able to keep pace with the world's two strongest economies. A tunnel under the Baltic Sea will open in 2029, connecting Denmark and Germany. It will be 18 kilometers long, with a construction budget of more than 7 billion euros. This is one of the largest infrastructure projects in Europe. Then a route will be created connecting Copenhagen, Malmö, Göteborg, Oslo, and Stockholm with central Germany. In view of the rapid growth of the Czech Republic and west-central Poland in the context of the GDP map, and looking at the high-speed rail map and road map already available, it can be deduced that the Blue Banana of Plenty will either acquire another branch such as you now see, or will be significantly expanded to form a Blue Triangle or Blue Star. This thesis would also coincide with the industrial technology zonas you currently see on the map. International consulting firm Cushman & Wakefield reports that Europe's main distribution corridor, due to its distinctive shape called the Blue Banana, has already evolved into several corridors. This is a result of, among other things, the enlargement of the European Union and the creation of new highways. Given the growing demand for freight, analysts at Cushman & Wakefield predict that European bananas will continue to evolve, all the more so as freight volumes are expected to grow by 22% over the next decade. Eurostat, for example, has estimated an almost threefold increase in demand for freight services between 2010 and 2050. The European Union, if it wants to continue to compete in the race to become a global hegemon, must face first and foremost the demand for new bananas, as silly as it may sound. Western Europe has stalled in its development, with the area of Central Germany, Central Europe and Eastern Europe leading the way. In view of future expansion opportunities in the Ukrainian market and the availability of the best land in Europe, the current war with Russia is no longer just a war for a free Ukraine, but also for giant business and banana proliferation of abundance in the next decades. The blue banana, due to its history and the wealth of its population, may degrade over time, or its main role will remain a matter of banking and services. The best evidence of this may be the current situation in northwestern Italy and the problems in France. Currently, the strength of the region is based mainly on industry and logistics, which are located in the Netherlands and Germany, while Switzerland with Geneva, Zurich, and Germany's Frankfurt act as the financial center of the old continent. The fact is that the economic structure of Europe is changing, but the example of the blue banana is the foundation for building modern and prosperous economies. Will it succeed? Time will tell. For my part, that's it for today. Take care. Bye.